Today on Peliculas with the Bros, we review the movie 3,000 Years of Longing, directed by George Miller, and we have a couple questions that need to be answered, like, do COVID movies suck?
What would I wish for if I had the wish from a genie?
Sup, bro?
What's up, bro?
And welcome everybody to the show. This is Peliculas with the Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And Peliculas with the Bros is a show where me and my brother Ivan discuss a movie every week. We discuss a new movie. Ivan, what's the movie of the week?
3,000 Years of Longing.
Correct. And before we get into that, thank you. I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're first time listener or watcher, welcome. You can find us on YouTube or on any podcast platform. We are called Peliculas with the Bros. Like I said, every week we discuss a movie, we discuss a new movie. Sometimes we talk about old movies. And if you'd like to listen to two guys talk about movies and their insightful takes on the movies and also on culture at large, subscribe. Also, leave a comment, leave a like, but most importantly, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the movie 3,000 Years of Longing and what do you think about our take on 3,000 Years of Longing. But that's enough of that. Now, Ivan, if you want to be with me, baby, there's a price to pay. I'm a genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way. The movie of the week is 3,000 Years of Longing, directed by George Miller, written by George Miller, and Augusta Gore, his daughter. Yes.
That makes sense now.
It all makes sense, right?
Wow.
His daughter is 3 years old.
Really?
She said, Daddy, I want to make a movie with you.
What do you want to be?
Oi. Oi!
Oi!
Let's make a movie, mate.
Sounds like
Daddy, I want to make a movie about genies.
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 There it is. Genies.
Genies.
Oi. That's all we got. That was horrible. But let me give you the premise of 3,000 Years of Longing. This is straight out of Google. While attending a conference in Istanbul, Dr. Alethea Binney happens to encounter a jinn who offers her 3 wishes in exchange for his freedom. This presents 2 problems. First, she doubts that he's real. And second, because she's a scholar of story and mythology, she knows all the cautionary tales of wishes gone wrong. The jinn pleads his case by telling her fantastical stories of his past. Eventually, she's beguiled and makes a wish that surprises them both. There's a large-ish cast, but there's only 2 cast members we really care about today, Ivan.
Yeah.
Idris Elba as the jinn, a.k.a. the genie, and Tilda Swinton, Sorcerer Supreme herself, as Alethea Binney. She has hair this time, though. Ivan, this movie is directed by George Miller, like we stated at the top of the podcast. We talked the last 2 movies about... we talked about the last couple movies he's had in previous podcasts. Most notably, we're infamously known for reviewing Happy Feet and Mad Max, right? Out in the ethers. And we talked about those movies. We talked about what we liked about it, what we didn't, blah, blah, blah. Since Happy Feet, he's made Happy Feet 2 and Mad Max Fury Road his... what is it? What is it when it's like your pinnacle? Your...
Magnum opus.
His magnum opus. That's why we pay Ivan the big bucks here.
Oh, yeah.
Peliculas with the Bros. His magnum opus. And now he's returned. And he's returned with this movie, 3,000 Years of Longing. What do we know so far from watching couple of Georgie Porgy Millery's films?
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. He's a visually imaginative storyteller.
Yeah.
He knows how to use that camera.
Mm-hmm.
And he likes darkness. He likes the dark tinge of things, to say the least. And I think this movie, it has hints of all of that. I'm not sure. I guess we could talk about that later. About like why and what and how. But how he made this movie's based on a novel, and the novel's called The Djinn in the Nightingale's Eye. He read this novel a couple years ago. He decided to write a screenplay. He wrote it with his daughter. I don't know much about his daughter and how much she was involved. Blah blah blah. This film was set to start filming in March 2020. Obviously, we all know what happened in March 2020. Dun, 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 COVID happened. And they pushed it back. They started filming later that year in the summer. This is his response to why he made this movie. Many years ago, I read a short story by A.S. Bright called The Djinn in the Nightingale's Eye. It stayed in my mind and wouldn't let go. It was rich in content and full of paradoxes. One of the principal characters is a creature of reason. The other is driven by emotion and desire. One is mortal and the other can live indefinitely. They encounter each other in a hotel room in modern-day Istanbul, but the narrative spans 3,000 years. So in ways that I hope are fresh, the film looks at some of interesting questions like, why are we hardwired for story? How do we know what is real or not? What are the gestures which define love? Ivan, what do you think about 3,000 Years
It's good.
Longing?
Yeah.
All right, guys. There it is. Ivan has put his final stamp on this movie. It is good. And I have to agree with him. It is good. Good job, Georgie Porgy. This movie doesn't really have anything new to it. The plot is kind of something we've come accustomed to in a way. The look, even though it's visually appealing, it's not like, whoa, he's going Mad Max ×2, or
Right.
he's not doing like a 300 type of thing.
Yeah.
Which it kind of seems like that in the trailer. It kind of has that 300 vibe. And the message of the movie is kind of something we know. The story of like the genie is obviously something we've grown up to. Aladdin, of course. But this movie tells that kind of message in a different way, from a different perspective and an interesting way. So that's a little different. But even saying all that, saying that it's doing really nothing new, I think it does it well.
Right.
Right? It looks good. The story is unique enough, and honestly, Idris and Tilda, they're pretty good, huh? Good actors.
Mm-hmm.
Idris, what's his like movie for you? Like, oh, that's an Idris movie for me.
Like what I know him as?
Yeah.
Probably Marvel is first, and then Wire second.
Okay. Wire should be first, right?
But I saw Marvel first.
But if you think of like
His legacy.
what is he gonna go down? He's not gonna be the blind guy from Thor. He's gonna be.
He might be just because he's like.
Ivan.
It's Marvel, man.
I liked him in Beast of No Tail, something like that.
No Nation.
No Nation. That was a good one, and he was creepy in that. He was in Pacific Rim.
Oh yeah.
He was also in. He's in a lot of movies, right?
He has a good career.
He's kind of. He has a good career, but it's interesting because you would expect him to be like the British Denzel Washington.
He's in The Office.
He is?
Yeah, that's probably another big thing.
For like a season or for a couple episodes?
Like a season.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he has like this gravitas that makes you think of like Prestige. But he does like some cheap movies. Like he recently just came out with Beast.
Yeah.
It looks bad. It's about like a super heroic lion, a super villain lion versus a dad.
Yeah. Gotta pay the bills.
Do you?
I see like this little mini trend of like actors turning into dads, and they're like, I'm realizing what I'm doing this for. And then when they're doing that, it's like the worst movie ever that they're in.
Yeah.
Like he did that, and then Ryan Gosling did that with The Gray Man. Now that's not that it's the worst movie ever, but it's not like it's probably his least prestigious movie.
Did he do that for the kids?
In an interview, he was like they were asking like, "Oh, why'd you choose this movie?" He's like, "Well, thinking back, Like I realize what I'm doing this for, my
Huh.
kids, which is like
Wow.
implies money.
I I don't know. Well, yeah. I mean, like you can think of it that way too. But as an actor, I would be like, why do I do this for? And if the answer is the kids, like, okay, I'm gonna make the best possible
Hmm.
movie. Not like,
But like if you just see that perfect Netflix, here's $10 million. That just sets up my kids for life. And that's all the excuse you need to like put your all into that one poopy.
but I think when the actors say I'll do it for my kids, I think they don't mean necessarily money, which you're trying to say they're doing it for. But I thought they made it because like I want a movie that my kids like.
No, I know that one. That's different. I'm saying these people are doing it like so their kids have like a backing for the rest of their life.
So are you saying when actors say I do it, why I do it for my kids, they're actually subconsciously picking the money?
No, I think it just depends on like case by case. I think
Bale, why is he doing what he's doing?
this one was for the kids. For like not the money. Like so the kids have something to watch.
So Thor, he did it for the kids.
Yes.
Interesting.
Ryan money. Idris money.
So are they lying?
No, it's still true. Like it's still technically for the kids. It's just a different.
They're just not saying I did it for my kids because they need the money.
Yeah, so they have like a legacy, but it's like a half truth or something.
Oh God, that's disgusting. And Tilda, she's great in this too. What do I know her for? Unfortunately, I just called her Sorcerer Supreme, so kind of shows what I know her from.
Marvel.
She was in another movie that like she was just like she has like this I think of like a
Androgynous.
what?
Androgynous.
Yeah. But she's also like very like is she from Lord of the Rings? She's in something like that, right?
I think.
Or that's Kate Blanchett too, huh?
Oh yeah, that is Kate Blanchett.
I get the two confused sometimes.
Yeah,
Even though they don't really look too
they're
much
just like
alike.
white, regal women.
Gotta love them.
Oh yeah.
Ivan, this movie is a movie about it's that typical story arc, the archetype, the genie giving you 3 wishes. At the top of the podcast, you asked, "What would you wish for?"
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you, what will your 3 wishes be? So, Ivan, answer your question.
It
It has to be your heart's desire too, because that was like a interesting thing that I didn't catch. That she was like, I want an apple, I want an apricot, I want a peach. I'm like, yeah, that's what I would have done if I was her. But then he's like, no, that's not what you truly want.
I would want, and this is a heart's desire, the ability and the privilege
Jesus.
to have infinite pepperoni pizza and then eat as much as I want without like it affecting my biology in any way.
Uh-huh.
So just like
So that's
hours.
2 wishes. Because you want as much pepperoni pizza and you want to be able
I'll
to...
sacrifice 2 wishes for that.
Damn.
Third, oh no, I think I'm pretty set. I think I'll just have him as my best friend for the rest of my life.
But he doesn't want that.
What if I wish for it? If she can wish for love, I can wish for a friend.
That's true. I honestly like the wish that the smart girl did. Or smart.
Yeah.
Where she said, I want like infinite knowledge.
But she worked for it, so I was like, I don't know. I wouldn't want to work for that.
That was kind of his thing too. Like some of his wishes were more practical.
Yeah, it
His
was
wish
like,
completing.
and then whoa,
Yeah.
I'm a genius. Like no, you gotta work for it, baby.
So I want that. I want the all-knowing knowledge. What can't you wish for? He said like you can't
Like
wish
end suffering.
Oh, damn. That'd be a good one.
Yeah. I think it was like you can't wish like death or something. You probably could. I don't know. It was like random stuff, but there wasn't any like. I heard him. I was like, oh, that doesn't really affect anything I would want. Like,
It's like I still get my pepperoni
still,
pizza.
Yeah, I still want suffering. I don't want that to go.
It would probably have to be knowledge, wealth, and then like
Power.
the three. My trident is complete. No, the third one would be something interesting, like something with like
Like a smart house. Just like with the
no, because you have the wealth.
a pull-up bar that pulls me up when I'm in bed.
I haven't had this crazy idea of acting like he's paraplegic just so he can do some pull-ups in the morning.
It works, okay?
We'll leave that in the bonus show if you guys subscribe to our Patreon. That just costs $1 million per month.
Yes.
I don't know what my third wish would be. It'd be a good one though. Like I said, it's a genie story. Tilda Swinton as Alethea Binney is basically all about work. She studies stories. Kind of like it's her job is kind of my dream job in a weird way, you know? Just like study all the time. Learn everything.
How she reads, she's like, oh. Like reading a book, she's like,
She has the book in her hand, and per sentence, she's just like going like this. And it's not like how I read, where it's like, she just goes, like, what the hell?
It's probably possible, huh?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if I want to get there.
But if you read that, you're not like reading. You know what I enjoy? I enjoy reading and like trying to act out the thing in my head.
Maybe it does. Like she just over time just built the skill where it's like instant in her head, like perfect story.
Wow.
Everything.
That is crazy. What would be your niche dream job? You know how she has like this dream job and I say that would be my dream job. What would be like you're like, dang, if I could redo my life.
Maybe like a indie studio.
Put the mic down like right here. Right below.
Indie studio game developer.
Nice. That's a good one.
Not like a huge, like 10 people.
Yeah.
And I just manage it. Not
like
manage
that.
it, but like manage the game.
Creative direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. I was researching this one comic book artist. He his name is Joe Madureira. And he came in hot like when he was 18 years old. He blew up, and then video game companies like, you're gonna be our creative director. So he just ditched comics because it was way more money in video games. And now he's essentially that. He's like a creative director for an indie studio. But now it's interesting because like indie studios get sort of either bought out or they just get jobs assigned to them by like by Epic or by EA, right? So they just made like a League of Legends spinoff, like RPG. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. It'd be a cool job.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't sell out like that.
Would you do like what would be your games? Would you be all encompassing like this year we're making fighting, or would you be like your boy Hideo Kojima?
I would just like whatever idea pops in the head. Like, oh, it would be cool if we made this game, and then maybe we'll do a sequel because we had more ideas. I had this different idea. Let's leave this franchise alone. Let's do this. Like I would say ideally the company would be more like A24. Like, oh, A24 is making it. That's good. Ivan's company.
But that's only 10 people. You only have 10 people, so you're only gonna make a game every 3 years, every 4 years.
It could just be small. Like, I don't want like AAA.
Right.
I'm of the belief
you're gonna get Candy Crush. You're making Candy Crush one day, and that's Stranding the next.
Like the upper limit would be like a Pokemon game before it turned 3D. And those teams were pretty small.
But they probably all died at the age of 50 from overwork.
Yeah, but like they left the
like you died at 50, but you did enough at that time.
Yeah, like I learned from their mistakes.
Gotcha.
And then we're good.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, it's a dream job, Tilda Swinton, and she has like this idea that this is all she needs, right? I only need my work. I don't need love. I don't need anything. I'm fully happy, but you can tell not even subconsciously, visually, you see her kind of cracking, right? from the first time she's giving a speech that we see in the film. She's giving a lecture at a conference, and she sees an what is it, like
A djinn.
a jinn? But is that real, or is she kind of like overworked? What is this kind of message that Miller's trying to implant in us?
I think it's real. If like the djinn was real, like Idris was real, you know.
And that's a question I'll ask later. Idris as the jinn, he shows up and he's ready to grant some wishes. That's sort of the conflict in the movie, where the jinn, played by Idris, he wants to just grant the wishes and escape.
Mm-hmm.
He wants freedom. Where Tilda's character, Alethea, she doesn't want to wish for anything because she knows about these kind of stories, being that she's this scholar of stories, right? She knows that it's a cautionary tale. Don't make any wishes. So there's this conflict between them. And the way that movie starts moving along is that Idris, as the jinn, he starts telling her all the stories about his past. And that's when things get interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like this movie in this aspect the most, when he's telling all the stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the lover that he used to have to that fat king that loved fat women. That was great. The smart girl who wanted to be the smartest person alive. The concubine who wanted her kid in love and didn't listen to Jin's warnings. Which one of these stories did you find most interesting or more engaging or worked the best?
I like the whole plot of the fat king, but
Yeah.
also the other,
Mad King.
Yeah, both of that.
Yeah.
I liked just when he got like when he was super alone and he had that best friend who told him stories.
Yeah.
I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah, because there's like the story that he's that the jinn tells Tilda is that there was a time when I was trying to get a little boy to summon me.
Mm-hmm.
That way he can set me free. But that little boy turned out to be a king, and he went mad after he basically had PTSD.
Yeah.
And he was psychotic. He started killing all his people, his slaves, his concubines, and all that. And the only way he would be, how would you say it? The only way he would be
freed?
No, the only way he would not kill people is by being distracted.
Right.
And the way they distracted him is by his mom got him this old guy to tell him some stories who looked like Jesus.
Yeah.
And that was very interesting. Just like
Yeah.
the fact that he's like so fascinated into him. So good. And the fact there's like a scene where the guy, the old guy's telling him a story and the king's on his chair.
Mm-hmm.
And then they reversed it. Like,
He's just like a little kid sitting in front of him.
yeah, he was like a little kid sitting in front of him while his dad told him a story.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
And then also part of that story is the brother of the Mad King,
Mm-hmm.
who's basically like autistic in a way.
Yeah.
An autistic, chubby, fat kid who turns out to be an autistic adult who's has like a predilection for obese women. And I like that Miller does this. It reminds me of your boy Denny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he likes showing disgusting things, and I think Miller does the same thing. Like, he finds beauty in the ugly. And the way he films the obese woman and like that whole scene of all of them hanging out, it's like, oh, that looks good.
I want to be there.
But the one disgusting part that really disgusted me is when, because the Fat King, he's in like his room,
Cell.
right? Basically a cell.
Yeah.
And he sticks his hand out of the cell, and
Like
it's all
oatmeal or
gooey.
something?
What is that?
I feel like it's just slop, like oatmeal.
Oh,
Like the mom probably just like, here's your daily food bowl for your wives.
I thought it was like bodily fluid, like honey, and just like shit.
Just straight up poopy.
Oh my god, it was so disgusting. I also like the story of the girl who wanted all the knowledge. Like, what a dope way of like showing that. Like we said at the top of the podcast, what Miller does with this genie story is he doesn't necessarily make the genie an instant wish fulfiller. He sort of tries to solve things practically at times, and that was pretty cool. Including when he tried to make the concubine pregnant. Like, she had to work. She had to put on like a perfume to make the king fall in love with her.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting. There is a message to this movie. All the while, Alethea knows that she should not make a wish, right? The djinn wants to be free. Alethea makes a wish that satisfies both these issues. She wants love. So by choosing love and by choosing the djinn to fall in love with her, the djinn never wants to leave. She can always be with him, and she only needs to make one wish. Plus, she gets to have someone to finally be with her after her husband leaves her, which she briefly recollects in this. What do you think? And then, spoiler alert, the djinn starts like dying basically because he's like, what do you think? What does all this mean? Is he dying?
Yes.
And why is he dying? Because he's trapped? Because it's fake love? Because he needs to be free?
I thought it was because the airwaves.
That is one of the things they say, but I don't buy that, like, necessarily. Like, so it's just because the airwaves? Like, we're now it's sci-fi?
But like throughout the movie, they made a point of putting the science into him. Like, they're saying he was made of fire. Like, oh, you're made of, I don't know, like electrons.
Yeah.
I don't know what but they use something to like rationalize his existence.
Yes.
And by then I was like, this makes sense. Like, in our world.
Right.
Like, he's just another living being, but he's just not made of what we're made of. He's made of whatever.
I think he said like we were made of like fire.
And you're dust.
And he was made of electricity.
Yeah.
He's Thor, we're Human Torch. That's horrible.
No. We're made of dust, and then he's made of fire.
Okay.
And then fire is just like energy.
Right.
Because he doesn't know like the science terms.
So you believe that there's really no message behind like the idea that he's dying. The only message is that he can't live in this world because of the radio waves.
Yeah, they should. Like, if I were her, I would have went like, let's just go to like Timbuktu.
That is true.
Let's go to Kentucky.
And why was he like surviving in that hotel room?
Maybe it's just less.
I guess.
Or maybe he didn't mention it.
So what I was feeling more so than like his excuse of not being able to handle the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth penetrating his brain.
Bluetooth.
I thought it was more so that the fact that she wished for love is like even though it's not part of his rule set of things you can't wish for, like you just can't wish for love. It just does not work.
I think, yes. Like, I'm gonna agree with that and then disagree with myself or whatever.
Okay.
Yes, I could see him dying from that, but also at the end, it showed that like he went back to her, like occasionally for a bit, for like a month or whatever.
Yes.
And then left.
Every so often he comes back to pay the lady a visit.
Yeah, and then he left when he couldn't handle it, or he left when like he really couldn't handle it.
Right. When he was turned into a rock.
Yeah.
He was turned into a thing.
Yeah. So I think it was real. But what was the other? What was your?
You're saying you're trying to argue the love part.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, it was real, But then the fact that she wished for him to go, like if you truly love him, you set him free, sort of thing. And then after that, that's when he's like, now the wish is fulfilled,
Right.
and like now we're actually in love.
Yeah.
So maybe like that little segment of time between that was like the wish, and then the full fulfillment of the wish was when she set him free.
Gotcha. I can see that too. But but she needs one more wish, right?
Mm. First was love. Second was like, I wish you would talk to me.
Oh yeah, you're
And
right.
Third is that.
She said, "I command you to talk to me," and he's like, "Bah."
Yeah.
I can see that. My question for you now is: was all of this a dream, or was it all make believe to Alethea's eyes? Because the reason I asked that is because at the conference that she gives in the very beginning, she sees a jinn, but no one else sees it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she's talking to the jinn after he tells the story. She tells him of a story when she was young and she made a make-believe friend, an invisible friend, who was there for her whenever she needed it. And she banished him because of what? I forgot.
She was like, I think she drew him or made a book about him, and then she felt like it was cringy.
So this is cringe. You're out of here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she put in the fire, right?
Yeah.
And then now this jinn is back, or he's in her life, but no one sees him. No one sees him. My question to you is this all part of her imagination? Is there any relationship between her old invisible friend and this new jinn?
I think it was real, but like earlier you said, George said, like, what's real in our eyes?
Yeah.
I think it's like, it doesn't really matter just because, like, none of this is actually real. Like, it's just like information that goes to my head. And then I translate it, and then it turns into whatever this is.
Yep.
And that's like what she's kind of going through.
As long as you're happy,
Yeah.
keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on believing that a genie is right by your side.
Like, she's imagining all of that, but I'm imagining all this, technically.
Oh, yeah. I kinda, not really.
Well, I am.
No, because like then then we are sharing the same imagination, and that's not possible. We
Why
can't
not?
imagine the same.
Why not?
We can't imagine all these things in this room.
Why not?
Oh my God, you're
Why
right.
Why not?
I haven't solved the mystery of life.
Why not?
With one high-pitched question. People are
They hate it.
they don't hate it.
They love it. They're mixed.
They don't love it. They're definitely mixed.
Ah.
No, that, but also there's kind of like this silent hum underneath this film by the woke people.
Okay. Let's hear it. I'll dismantle them right now.
So there's this archetype or kind of like this story narrative has been used often, and people don't like it, and it's the black man fulfilling the white woman sexually. Oh, I was like, they got me.
Dang it. They're right this time.
And this, I think the book has it much more,
Uh-huh.
or like, because I don't think this movie has it really at all. There's only like one scene.
I mean, in the movie, it didn't really matter his race. Like, it could have been any actor.
Yes, that's true. But the book has it much more. And it's not like in the book they're saying, and the black man loved that white woman like she's never been loved.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people saying like, oh, it's like another story like this.
But, like, there's archetypes for everything, man. Like, why don't you get offended by, like, I don't know, any other archetype? It's just like the fact
The
that...
buddy comedy.
Yeah. Oh, the buddy comedy archetype. The whole crowd ain't gonna like this. But like the fact that the archetype holds like a black person,
or race.
yes, that's
Okay.
when it's like, no, not.
So you're saying that even if it is an archetype, and even if it's an archetype that is used in a particular racial way,
Mm-hmm.
it's not bad.
I would say if it was used in a bad way, it would be bad. But it wasn't used in a bad way in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was watching, I was like, I mean, he is black, but he's not like he. You could I don't know where he's from.
Right.
Like
He doesn't have like any nationality,
yeah,
anything to him.
I mean, he was saying like he had those legs, or like up to here. I mean, half of him he wasn't black.
Oh, here we go. I like this take.
He was like half green.
So technically,
It's not the archetype.
yeah, that's true. He was kind of like half mermaid.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, I think the similar thing I've heard is like Driving Miss Daisy, where like the black man helps the white woman understand, and then there's also what's that one with that just came out a couple years ago with
Oh, the Green Mile.
the green. It's not the Green
Mile?
Mile. It's the
Oh,
green.
yeah.
It's the Green Book, right?
Yeah. The Green Mile too.
Yeah, I think the Green Mile is actually the same thing. Where it's also not just like a sexual thing, but it's like the black man shows the white man how everything's okay.
Yeah. I mean, the Green
Books.
Book was a little like, because there's a point where we already kind of know, like, all right, we shouldn't be racist, and then Green Book is like, all right, we get it. White people should learn not to be racist. That's when it's like, I mean, it's technically true, but it's like we don't need that anymore.
Right.
Like, who's this actually for? Just like you're patting yourself on the back sort
Right.
of thing. This one, what's this movie called?
The 3,000 years long.
Like he had no nationality, really. I mean, he did have black skin, but he spoke like nobody I knew.
And the fact that the story doesn't go into like the sexual nature,
Yeah,
I think helps the movie.
It was about love.
Yeah.
Like it didn't really need that at all.
Right.
It only had that when like the Fat King was around.
Well, there is that one scene when they're like caressing and Tilda's
Mhm.
actually half naked and he's like covering her.
But even that's just love.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything else than that.
Okay.
And then what's the Miss Daisy? Like the more product of its time. Like if they made that again, I'm like, come on. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cancel something from back then.
The other silent hum is like, okay, the white person is freeing the black person again. Here we go.
Oh,
The white person, Pocahontas, is getting saved by the white man.
right. But again, he wasn't black.
Got him. Ivan, I have a review right here from New York Times. Let me know what you think. Despite these flashes of playfulness, the stories blur rather than build. They're overlong, for one, and because Jin often narrates their characters' words, thoughts, and deeds, they rarely come alive. Much like the figurines in an old-fashioned automation clock, they enter at the appointed times, execute clever bits of business, and exit, leaving no impression other than admiration for the clockmaker's skill. Worse, they take you away from Alethea and Jin. And while the last half hour is lovely, it's here that you see that the movie feels the tenderness that Miller himself clearly yearns to convey. By then, alas, the clock has almost run out. So there is that kind of feeling for me too, where the best part of the movie for me is when the Jin's telling the stories and they're like interacting at the hotel. But then they go to London and you kind of feel like they didn't have a lot of time to film. Cause like there's quick fadeaways, like quick cuts, and you're only there for like 20 minutes. And most of the heart of the movie should be here, but they don't linger on it too much. I think this could be for multiple reasons, but one of the things that I left after watching this film, I was like, you can tell this movie was made during COVID
Mm-hmm.
because of like the first half where Idris and Tilda are in a hotel room for like 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's definitely because they were quarantined, right?
Right.
And then the fact that like there's such minimal cast and the way it was filmed, everything sort of feels like it points to a COVID production type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel, back to my previous point though, do you feel that like we didn't spend enough time at the end with Tilda and Idris exploring that love dynamic? Did you feel that quickness that I felt?
But maybe, yeah, but I didn't need more. Like, the point of the stories was to set up her wish. And then when she got the wish, it's like, all right, do we just want another 2 hours of them making googly eyes? Like, the scenes they had, they kind of said everything they wanted to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to fill that up more or how to
Mhm.
spend more time with them, but I did feel like I kind of want to see their relationship as a couple in love now.
You want them to go, like, on a Ferris wheel.
Yeah. Have some conflict, like, I don't love this world. I love you. Type of stuff. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Maybe not.
I don't know.
There's another thing there too. Oh, my question at the top of this podcast was, do COVID movies suck?
No, because the Batman exists.
Oh, that was like half. How expensive was it to film that movie? Because like such a large cast, but then you had to do it half of it during COVID stuff.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I read somewhere that like they put it during Halloween so people would wear masks, which makes sense. And a lot of them do wear masks.
Uh-huh.
I think like the first that like setup start in the movie, like everyone was like masked up. They had like a Halloween mask like wrapped up because
Right.
they're in gangs. That's why they're masked.
Right. Interesting. Yeah,
That's
I could
smart.
see that. But I mean, the Batman's kind of an outlier in terms of like its gargantuan budget and what it could do.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think about movies like this one, there's a number of other movies that I think we watched this year that's like, yeah, COVID very, like, you can tell COVID had a hand in this.
But shouldn't all the movies we've been watching be COVID movies?
No, because some are filmed, like, not during that specific time period.
Okay. Top Gun?
It was ready to go, like, before COVID,
Oh.
but they held on to it.
Thor?
Thor. I think, like, I'm talking more about smaller budget films. Because when you have a big budget, you can actually do a little bit more.
Just CGI people.
Yeah.
Let's make it all 3D.
These are real fake people. I don't know. I just think that in 20 years from now, we're going to look at like 15 movies that like, wow, COVID really made this movie kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this movie is going to be one of them where it's like, you can kind of tell, like, when you have two actors like this.
Was Marriage Story COVID?
No. When you have two actors like this, you would expect them to be in this movie for at least 50%. And I don't think they were in this movie 50%.
I mean, it depends on the book because it's an adaptation. Maybe like the book is like first 10 pages is them talking and then 60 pages of the story.
Maybe, yeah.
And then just the style of the movie is like fairy tale-y.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot different than most movies I've seen recently, at least.
In which way?
Just different like vibes. Like it had
Fantasy?
yeah, those title cards of like the stories.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like that like sequence in the middle where like it explained how he was made. Like step 1, like electrons form. Step 2, the organs form.
Right. Yeah, yeah. But they didn't. They wrote it out in title cards, right?
Yeah.
They didn't show anything,
Yeah.
which was interesting.
And that's different.
Yeah,
It's weird.
I agree.
But it's like the classic storyteller sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. It is like not like a classic novel esque type of.
Yeah.
Ivan, let's rate this movie
I give it
out of genies, out of gins. How many gins do you, out of 5 gins? How many gins do you give it?
a nice 4 gin.
4 gin.
4 gins.
4 gins out of 5. I give it a 3.75 gins out of 5.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
I just do think that it needed some more pizzazz at the end, the latter half.
Okay.
The first half was like, I'm here for it. Like the stories, the vignettes. It's cool. Next for Miller, Ivan. George Miller. You know he's like 80 years old? He's getting up there. But his next movie is Furiosa. We have, what's that girl that's in all the movies now? Queen's Gambit.
Oh, Anya
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Joy.
She's Furiosa. And then we have Thor, Chris Hemsworth as the bad guy.
Nice. That's gonna be funny.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna have to live up to Fury Road.
I think he's aware of that, and he's like, "Let's do this. Let's go wild."
Damn them. And he has 2 people that can actually help him do that. You know, like Chris.
Mhm.
He has the chops.
His energy.
He has the energy, and Anya Taylor-Joy. I mean, she's killing it right now.
Yeah.
She's the next big thing.
Yeah.
She's trying to knock out the Puginator.
Easy. She's already knocked.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think after this film it's gonna go.
That Olivia Wilde movie kind of ruined her.
Yep. Which we're gonna watch, by the way. So yeah, Furiosa. You excited for that?
Yeah.
Are you any more excited after watching these films?
Hello.
A little bit. Me too.
Yeah. Say
Ivan, it's time for a section we like to go.
things and such.
I went to Disneyland.
I heard.
It's good. Quick takeaways. You want quick takeaways?
Yeah.
I ate a lot.
Oh.
You heard, huh?
Oh.
You know they have a Gungan broth, which I did not have.
Soup?
It's ramen.
That's funny.
And then the milk stuff. I forgot whose milk. They should name it differently. They just call it blue or green milk. But it was good. What do I have here? Let's see what I got. I went on the Star Wars ride. So they have 2 Star Wars rides. Rise of the Resistance and
Is it the one where you're in a thing and it just shakes you?
so no, that's the other one. That's
Third?
there's 2 rides.
Okay.
There's 3 rides,
Okay.
but 2 in the new Star Wars line.
I don't.
So there's one called Rise of the Resistance, and the other one is called the blank run. What is it?
Kessel Run?
Something like that. Millennium Falcon Run or whatever.
Yeah.
And basically, on that ride, there's you go with a group of 6,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 people are the pilot, 2 people are the shooters, gunners, 2 people are the engineers. And the pilots actually just they can move the thing a little bit, so it's interactive in a way.
Uh-huh.
And the shooters they just press a button, and they shoot at the things.
Okay.
I was a gunner, baby.
What's the engineer do?
I forgot. I didn't see what they do. I don't think they
Come
did
on.
anything.
This is the most interesting one.
No, I don't think. It's not like they're trying to solve a puzzle there.
Imagine it's actually electrical components. I don't know. They have pliers and
Work. That one was okay. I didn't like it too much because the look of it was kind of cheap looking, but maybe that was the point. It was kind of tinted.
Hmm.
The other one which was interesting was Rise of the Resistance, and it was like a 3-parter. So you go into a big cargo ship, and that's kind of moving, but you can stand in it.
Okay.
So, but it moves very minimally, and they act like they got
Transported.
they're trying to transport you guys to a base, but then the bad guys get you. What is it? Not the resistance, but the
First order.
first order catches you, and so you get boarded, and they're like, "Come with us," single file line. So they're like acting right.
It's funny because it's like it's literally just a room that shakes.
Yeah,
You know, like literally, and then they're just like standing out there waiting for it to end. They're like, "Man, I'm gonna have lunch in half an hour. I want to go."
So you come out and you get walked to this area, and then they're like, "Okay, you're about to be put in your cell, and you're gonna be interrogated." So we get put in our cell, and it's like a cell like the size of this room.
A little taser.
And then
Where's the money?
Kylo comes on. He doesn't come in, but it's like a projection.
Yeah.
And he's like, "We know you have what we want. Give it to
I
us."
should have screamed.
And then what's the red hair guy?
Yeah, I don't know the name.
He's like, "We've been boarded. Let's go get them." He's like, "I'll be back for you." And and then you see like zzz, 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 like you're getting cut out
Like
with a lightsaber.
lightsaber?
Yeah. And then actor comes out. "Come on."
John Boyega.
No, I wish. He said, "Come on, we're gonna get you out." And then we come out, and they put on us on another thing, and that's I don't know if you ever been on the Transformers ride in Universal.
No.
So basically, it's a magnetic ride. So you're on a thing like a regular roller coaster, but it moves magnetically across hallways. So we get transported, and like things are trying like fall. It's like Indiana Jones, but magnetic.
Okay.
And projections, and Kylo's like, "Come back."
Should have been like, just act the whole thing and mess with people.
The bad thing is like I was by myself.
Uh,
If Tanya was with me, I would have done it, but to embarrass her. But I was by myself, and I would have got embarrassed.
That's funny.
And then finally we escape.
You did?
Yeah, we escaped. Thankfully,
Not many people do.
not many people do, from what I hear. My takeaways. Another takeaway is we went on the Pinocchio ride, and dude, that ride is so dark.
Like energy or literally?
Tone.
Yes.
Is if I were a kid and I was on that, I would be so freaking scared. Clowns, weird looking donkeys, the
Is this
whale.
new?
No.
Isn't it like in the middle next to the Sword and Stone?
Yeah, it's to the left of it. It's not right in the middle, but it's
Okay.
it's around there.
Yeah. I don't remember it, but
It's crazy how like it makes me want to watch Pinocchio, by the way.
it's coming out soon with your boy.
Zemeckis.
No, the other one.
Oh.
Say it with your full Mexican accent.
I forgot his name.
Guillermo.
Guillermo del Toro.
Hi, hi, hi.
And lastly, my last takeaway from Disneyland, I was like eager to buy merch, but I realized like I'm never gonna wear that again. Like I'm gonna buy it right now, and I'm never gonna wear it again. I'm gonna get that, and I'm never gonna use it again. I'm gonna get that, and I'm never gonna see it again.
Right.
And it was the first time I was ever able to restrain myself at Disneyland.
Jesus.
Didn't buy one damn thing.
Dang. We bought food.
Bought food. Spent a good $100 on food.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. Oh, last thing. We went to a cantina in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And there's a droid there who's the DJ, and he's like playing like just like techno beats,
Yeah.
but very safe techno beats, like
Do. Yeah.
and they're like
Permanently.
but yeah, that was pretty cool. I like being in that cantina. That was the one feeling where I'm like I was transported into Star Wars land.
It'd be funny just to be like the drunk at the bar, like.
There was one guy that looked miserable to be there. He had his sunglasses on, and he's like this, and his like girlfriend was just like having a good old time, and he's like
A little more
Gungan broths.
Gungan broth.
That's it, Ivan. Any things and such? Any news out there in the world?
I'm playing a game. Is that things and such?
Yeah, sure. Put it in there.
I'm playing Pokemon Legends Arceus.
What is that? Sounds familiar.
It's on the Switch. It's like set in the past where like Pokeballs are just invented, and you're kind of pioneering the Pokédex concept of catching them all. And well, you're like sent back from like they haven't said it yet, but I could kind of assume where I'm from. You're sent back from the future,
Mm.
and you lose your memory.
Uh.
So then you're trying to figure out like who was I? And there's like a giant portal above a mountain, like, and you have to work yourself up to that.
Is it RPG?
Yeah,
And it's like Pokemon turn-based typical stuff?
it's kind of it is turn based, but it's open world ish, like open areas,
Mm-hmm.
and you could travel between areas. But like the core is you have to literally collect them all. I mean, that's always been the core, but they super emphasize it in this.
Like that is the goal.
Yeah,
Not to beat the gyms.
yeah, or like not even just collect them all. Like you should probably collect 10 of each. And
To
it's-
study them.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you like it?
I guess. Like the thing is, like the core gameplay of Pokemon is so like good itself that you can do it badly and it would be a good game. But like the game's so outdated already. Like if you look at the animations for everything, it's like deek, tap up 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 up, deek, and it's like when they're talking, there's
Yeah.
no dialogue.
Yeah.
It's just text, and they're like mouth moving, the same movement. It's like, what the heck? This is
Would you like it for them to be like more like Animal Crossing, where they
at least like it's just weird how little effort there is in this game, and it's more like I don't know. They just don't have the people there. It doesn't make. It's like the biggest franchise literally ever, and this is what we're getting.
This has been your take on Pokemon for a while, right?
Yeah, but like I stopped playing Pokemon for a while, and then I was like, you know what? I should put my money where my mouth is. Let me see if they can prove me wrong.
You got $20 and you put it in your mouth.
And this is like their best game in like.
Did it
maybe
just
like
come out?
A decade, I think last year.
And it's already dated?
It was dated when it came out.
Jesus.
Like if you just look at the animation, like that's just one of the things, but like
It's riddled throughout.
yeah, like even on the Switch itself, like look at Breath of the Wild, way more effort put into anything. And whenever there's like constant cuts to black just because they don't want to animate someone going like, here, have this. It's like, oh, take this rare candy. Cuts to black. Thanks for the rare candy. And then they just do that constantly. Damn. It's not good. But it's fun just because it's like Pokemon.
Right.
But like, it's depressing.
And are you going to finish it?
Yeah.
I'm so depressed.
Because it's still fun, but it's just sad because, you know, like...
The capabilities are there.
Yeah. Especially on the same system with, like... I mean, just Breath of the Wild is supposed to be... Like, just if you hold it, like, right next to each other, what the heck? Like, what happened? It's the same company, too. I know different developers.
Yeah.
But can't they just share secrets? Can't they just tell each other, like, look... Do it this way.
I think it's more about time, money, and effort, right?
I think it's they can get away with it. But lately, I mean, the discussion is like rising and rising. Like Pokemon's not what it used to be. But they have new games coming out in like November, which is, it looks kind of promising.
But isn't that the issue too? That they're like almost like FIFA and NBA, where like every year they're trying to come out with a new thing.
But they have like 2 or 3 teams developing different Pokemon.
But
So
they should consolidate them and
it's technically 2 years between games.
gotcha.
But like 1 year, other team releases next year,
Right.
other team. But I think they just have bad people in charge. Like
They're complacent.
yeah.
they're making a shitload of money. I imagine like little kids are still buying it like up the wazoo.
They have like no reason to change.
Yeah.
But I think just whatever long term is, like I don't know how long it'll last, but eventually, I don't see people getting each Pokemon game.
I would love to get back into games. Like it's something I'm just like I could play like 20 minutes, right? Like I played like 2 weeks ago. Every day I was playing like an hour of Persona.
It's like a job. Clock in.
I need to do this.
Yeah.
And it's just like I can't be consistent. And sometimes I can't find the time. Like I'd rather do something else.
I've been changing my reasons to play games. Before I was like, I want to have fun.
Yeah.
So I'm not playing any games until I have fun.
Yeah.
But now I don't play games at all because nothing's fun.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm playing these games to study because like there's storytelling aspects and the art to it, and like
Yeah.
it would be cool to make a game eventually, like way down the line or whenever it happens. So I would have to know like how to do it wrong,
Right.
to do it right. So it's like this is literally education more than fun.
Like, oh, God, these
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah. But I'm not going to play a game that's out of my genre. Like I won't play Dark Souls because I would never make that game.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll play like I know the concept of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I know the beats. So I kind of grasped what I needed. But with Pokemon, that's like a game I would want to make one day. But like better and actually good. But whatever.
Interesting. Maybe I'll get into games one day. Most likely not. I'll try. Let me know when you find a good one that you like. I recommend this game.
Won't
player.
happen.
Okay.
Not gonna happen.
All right. Ivan, it's time for a section we like to call What's on the Telly? I've been gorging my brain with Premier League football, English football. My team, Chelsea, isn't doing too well. There's a player who's called Erling Haaland. And he is just like, he's 22, 23, and he's demolishing.
The classic archetype, huh?
And the best and worst part about it is that he plays for the best team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just signed for them this year, and they were already the best team. So they added him, and now they're just like, well, call it a season because they're just going to be the best.
Don't they have rules against that?
Not really. They try, but they can't really.
Does basketball, don't they?
Yeah. They have, like, salary cap stuff. Like, your team can only make certain amount. So,
that's kind of, does that even help? Like,
yeah. Because, like, let's say for the Lakers, you only have 150 million to give to your players total. So,
but if there's like a rookie that's like the best ever, isn't he like still super cheap?
Yeah.
So,
but most likely you can't get a rookie and a good team, right? Because the only way you can get a good rookie is if you're a bad team.
Okay.
Most likely.
Oh, because like you get first pick.
Yeah.
Understood. So how did this happen?
Because they don't have drafts in soccer.
Well, they just like
they have different leagues.
I like you.
Yeah. And it's so weird because like they're like, we'll give you more money. I'm like, okay, I want out of this team, and the team's like,
we'll
no.
give you more money.
Yeah. And
like, okay, I want out then.
It's just really hard because like basically the team with the most money just wins.
So they don't have a limit.
They do, but it doesn't work that well. Like I don't even know how it works. There is a limit, but it doesn't seem like it.
Like probably workarounds, huh?
Yeah.
Like you get $1 million, but here's a house.
Yep.
Here's a car.
I mean, they say that's a thing in basketball too. Like, why did that player just agree to that contract?
Mm-hmm.
And then like 5 years later, they're part owner. Like, oh,
yeah,
there might be something there. But yeah, anyways, Holland is just, it's kind of like, you can't hate him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though he's on the best team, he just has like this personality that he's straight, but he has short answers for everything. He's like, yeah, I just had a good game. But he looks like he's having so much fun, and he looks butt ugly. I'm gonna show you a picture of him, and he literally looks like Boo, like evil Boo.
Like from Mario?
No, from
Oh.
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh. Like the gray one? Yeah. That's one ugly man.
Does he look like Boo?
He looks like you know the show Mr. Meaty? Look at Mr. Meaty.
Look.
They even compared. Yeah, it's the teeth too.
Crazy, huh?
That's funny.
So yeah, I've been watching that. But other than that, let's talk about the good stuff. House of Dragon. You watched it?
I keep forgetting to.
Oh wow.
Good.
It's good for me. There's so you know how this show is supposed to have a bunch of dragons?
Yeah.
I think they're doing something smart where it's like, yeah, there's thousands of dragons in this world now, but it's kind of like nuclear bombs, or like if there's thousands of nuclear bombs, no one will ever use
See
it.
them flying around.
What?
Like you want nuclear bombs flying around.
Since everyone has this, no one's gonna use them,
Right.
and I think that's like what they're getting away with. That like,
So not only the Targaryens have dragons?
well, I think only the Targaryens have them, but I think it's more like since they're so powerful, when do you ever really need to use them? Because they're never.
It's
threatened.
more like a deterrent. Like, oh, they have dragons. Let's not do anything.
Right.
So nothing ever.
Like, what are you
happens.
gonna really do?
That's funny.
I think that's what they're doing. You know,
I
because
mean,
like,
it makes sense.
yeah, and you save on CGI that way.
Yeah.
But they use them. They use the dragons in a cool way in this movie. I mean, in this episode. But yeah, I'm liking it.
Then the show will probably be like the downfall of the dragons. Because if there's thousands, they're probably all the infighting is probably gonna just kill them all, huh?
Right. The War of the Dragons. Imagine just.
Like Endgame, sort of like all dragons.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. How do 1,000 dragons die?
Yeah, it's only like 200 years. So
Exactly.
like, that would have to be like a genocide.
How do you genocide dragons?
Dragon War.
Movie.
That'd be funny.
Game of Thrones. The
That'd
Dragon
be good.
War.
Like a finale movie in theaters.
Yep.
The Dragon War.
Yep.
That would be something.
Yep.
Good idea. Go to HBO.
Who's gonna play the dragon? Andy Serkis.
Each one. It's like 1,000 performances. Jesus.
With different emotions and characters for each one.
Specific emotions.
That was so overworked.
It's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The Oompa Loompa. How he had to do all the parts.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, yeah, you're right. The new one.
Yeah.
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 Industry, I watched the latest episode. It's what do I have here? Character development, telling versus showing. Yeah. It's not one of the best shows of all time. But it's an entertaining show. It is falling into that Euphoria thing where it's just like trying to be over the top.
Right.
And it's doing a lot of character development by telling versus showing, which I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a scene when Harper's talking to her brother, and she's like, "You know how mom was overbearing. Remember that one time? You know, like I don't like that.
You want to see her being overbearing.
Yeah, do a flashback. That's what Game of Thrones did. Like Mad Men did. Everything they did is like by showing you how they did it.
Yeah.
Or a flashback, or like showing you stuff like that. But this one, they're like a couple scenes where they're just telling versus showing, and I don't like it.
Me no likey.
But I did start rewatching Succession.
I can't. Oh, perfect.
What a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it,
The show's so good. It's like
the thing that like stood out was just like how much funnier it is than Industry, and then which I mean it's trying to be that much more funnier, but like the dialogue is just, you're right, it's just like so matter of fact and just so like
how
real.
Yeah. Yeah.
This and Industry is just too like calculated for its own good.
Like they would all have quips in industry, like pre-planned. Like
yeah.
if you had the perfect amount of time, and they said this, what would you say? They would say it. But Succession's like they don't have that time. Like they just call you ugly. Like,
Like, fuck you. No.
yeah, and that's how it happened.
Yeah. What are you watching?
Mad Men still.
Season.
Oh, I think 5 or 6. No, 5. Peggy just left. Sterling. And they just got Jaguar.
Jeez. Dang, you blazed through that.
It's background, so it's like just playing.
Oh, okay.
I'm not like,
Right.
but there's moments where like, oh, I remember this. I just admire.
Yeah. Of course. They're great.
I still get stuff out of it.
Hell yeah, man.
So good. So good.
Mad Men is life.
So good.
Ivan, it's time for a section we call Really Be Bussin'. I've been listening to UK drill. I realized I know the cheat code now. To make myself like music, you just have to re-listen to it a bunch of times. I really like
Everything.
well, I forgot his name, so I guess I don't like him that much, but there's some good not innovative, just like quality music in there, you know?
Yeah, but rap's dead, so.
Well, this is my rebuttal to that. I saw this recent Pitchfork article talking about like the New Jersey, Philadelphia dance scene, hip hop dancing, and how that's like up and coming. And it's like the vibe that Drake had on Sticky, but it's like for reals. Like Drake was calculated and precise with Sticky.
Right.
But what they're doing is like original, fresh, and like true to them, you know?
Yes.
And it's the club beat like dish, 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 dish. I'm like, oh, this sounds good. The lyrics are like the same, but like I like the flow and the beat, and like it just sounds good.
Pass.
And that's it. Any music you've been listening to? I like that like slight lip quiver.
I have a lot of anger in me, my friend. No, I haven't.
My Mr. Morale LP should be coming soon. Record.
What? Oh, you got the.
Yep.
I was thinking about it, but I don't know. It wasn't that kind of album for me.
He came out with a music video for that one song.
I'm not interested.
Why?
I don't know.
It was good because it was one take. You know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was one take, and you can see his talent. I mean, obviously, he has talent. The man has talent. Earth.
I have a problem with the album, actually.
Here he goes. He finally found it. What I was been telling him for years.
Oh, it's different.
Okay, go.
I don't like how he gave up on people. Like, the album's just him giving up on being the hero. I was like, I mean, it's his life. But then I'm stewing in it. Like, why are you giving up? What gives you the right? You know?
We need you.
Yeah.
Hip hop needs you.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna leave us with who's he leaving us with?
All of them.
All those bastards.
Yeah. And I guess, like, you get tired eventually, but, like, I don't know. I don't like, maybe I'll give up when I'm his age, but it just, I don't like that.
I re-listened to Pimp a Butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
And one song that stands out is when he's like talking about like, what you want, a house and a car?
Mm-hmm.
And then like Dr. Dre comes in, he's like, you told me when we met that you wanted a house like mine, but you know how much it's gonna cost or whatever, like something like that. And basically it's like Dr. Dre's the devil. Like he knows what it takes to get what he has.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of lost his soul,
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, like legitimately. And Kendrick's like, he realized probably after Good Kid, Mad City, like how bad
The world
like
is.
being an artist, a famous artist is, like all that it takes.
In the same album, I thought you were gonna say this when you brought it up, but
Yeah.
Tupac. There's like that Tupac thing, and he says like a man only has enough energy to fight till he's like 30, and Kendrick's giving up around 30. So like it's weird that the prophecy is true.
Yeah.
But there's men who are still fighting. Like, there's a bad example because it's like a little
Trump?
political. No,
He's still fighting.
he
And look at
is.
him, 70 years old.
But like the good fight, I mean,
Oh,
like Bernie Sanders, even though he's like losing constantly,
yeah.
but he's like 80 and he's like still fighting. I'm like, Jesus
We
Christ.
got to give these people food.
Yeah, and like if he's still fighting, Kendrick, I think he could still fight.
Yeah. I think it's more like him fighting is taking away from his family and his own sanity.
Doing it for the kids. The kids, the kids ruined it, don't they?
Yeah. Wait, I don't get it.
Because he's doing it for the family. Like, he
Oh,
has to
yeah,
give
yeah.
up.
Doing it for kids. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I have to give up to spend time with my kids. Okay, not having kids then, if that's the issue.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
He's like, I study everyone. What I learned? No kids.
Exactly.
I can fight till I'm 90.
That's it. Unless Bernie has kids, then he has.
Any parting words for the beautiful people, Ivan?
Marlon Brando.
The Marlon Brando happy hour in 1 minute. But actually 5. What movie did you watch of Marlon Brando?
Julius Caesar. A Shakespeare joint.
Oh. Spike Lee-ish.
Yes. It's. I didn't know it was a Shakespeare thing until I watched it.
Uh-huh.
But it's very much like, how art thou? Ta-ta-ba-ta-ta. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
How does that work with the Brando who's so natural?
It works well. Like, he plays Mark Antony, which is like, the plot is,
The salsa singer?
no.
Damn. He's like,
No. Sicko.
you like that reference, though. I know you did.
A little bit. The plot of Julius Caesar is, do you know? Okay. He's like a king who was crowned like king for life, and then his senators were like, well, we can't have a dictatorship, so they plot to kill him and kill him. But he was actually literally like such a good person, and they only killed him out of like jealousy or whatever
Right.
reason. That's like half the movie. And then the other half is Mark Antony, Marlon Brando going to war against them. Eventually they lose, the ones who killed Julius Caesar. But Marlon's he's like more of a side character. But
The name like Mark Anthony.
yeah, but he plays he's like the best friend of Julius Caesar basically. And then like he finds the body and like they tell him like you can make a speech during his funeral, but you can't do anything bad towards us. He's like, sure, that's all I need. But obviously that's not what happens. So he does like this huge Shakespeare speech. Like there's like 2 or 3, but it's like 10 minutes of him going like, how art thou? Da ba da ha pa 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 pa. I cast you and stuff like that. But like the
Brando.
thing that makes it Marlon Brando is that even if it's like Shakespeare, whatever, like he really puts his feeling and soul into that.
Which I would imagine would be so hard with like a Shakespeare type of thing.
Yeah, because you would have to really know what it means.
Denzel.
Yeah, this is like the second Shakespeare thing I've seen. It's interesting because that one was black and white. This is black and white too.
Uh-huh.
But it's weird because that one is like super crisp. So
Yeah.
you could see everything, but this is like black and white, like
Yeah.
real. But it's good to see. Not good. It's because you don't even have to know what he's saying to understand what he means.
Right.
Because he's so like, he feels that, like Denzel. Like, I mean, they're all good in that movie.
Yeah.
But imagine if back then only one person was good, and that's like basically him.
Yeah.
Because he puts his soul into everything, and he actually feels what he's reading. You know,
Right.
is good, but it's hard to watch because it's Shakespeare.
2 hours.
Yeah, I want to get into Shakespeare one day, just because like, how does this 2,000-year-old do?
How does he do it?
How is he like still so relevant and like loved by literally every like scholar and like taught at schools, and they still make movies about him? Like,
You have to wonder, like, also he has like he created a bunch of archetype
Yeah.
characters and story plots that are used over and over. He must have someone did it before him.
yeah, he's Kanye, huh?
So did someone do it before him, but he just added his like flourish to his like words?
I think it's. I mean, I'm no Shakespeare expert. I think
Literary scholar over here.
he probably heard the stories. I mean, Julius Caesar is based on real stuff, but it has to be just how he did it, because it's all like technically poetry. Like he did it in, I don't know what it's called, but it's like everything, every like syllable in every word is planned
Right.
exactly.
Like a rhythm.
Yeah, and he juggles that with like making his own words and being like poetic about it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 2 hours of that. Imagine like you writing a 2 hour script and like every single word has to be part of this giant song, and that's like what he did. I maybe just like nobody's ever done that, and it's just so impressive that like it lasted this long.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's it or if there's some other reason why. Because I just want to know why. Like,
Yeah.
What makes him?
What is his what's the outlier of him?
Yeah, like Kanye is like, he's super outspoken, like himself. Did the sample stuff, like does his own thing. Elvis, like his performance, like his charisma. You know,
It's everything.
like
I think it's
what's
everything except for the lyrics, actually.
for Shakespeare.
Oh no, for
Elvis,
no, for Kanye.
Kanye.
Like
Even-
Kanye literally is everything he does is what makes him special, except for his lyrics. Like and that's the funniest part, because like he's a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he'll be mad if we ever said that to his face. But
Right.
the fact that like the thing that he's kind of like the most important to him is the least important to his overall image.
Yeah, I think just at that time, I'm just thinking like beats during that time, like music, the sound of it all.
Yeah,
Maybe that's just what the world needed at the moment.
he definitely like created 3D sound in hip hop
wasn't just
when
like
it
doom doom ch, and then like some other.
Right.
He put everything, maximalism, whatever. But now, lyrics are coming back.
lyrics to go. Are they?
I think, yeah. Because, like, I just feel like every sound is somewhat have been made.
Right.
Like, even the ugly sounds. Like, if...
You're saying the computer can make anything.
Yeah, and I feel like it already has been made. Not that no music, no sound can be made again.
Uh-huh.
Like, nothing new can be made. But, like, we've been through all the iterations, I feel. Or most.
I agree.
But now all that's left is just what you're saying.
Yep.
And I think there's more to say.
There's more to say, and that's one way to stand out.
Yeah.
Speaking of standing out, I was working out and listening to like old high school songs that I used to listen to, and I clicked on "Shorty Wanna Ride." So good.
Fire.
Like the beginning, it has like the best bass you ever heard.
Boom.
Like the type of bass
Boom.
that just like, "Shorty wanna ride with me." It's just like I can't describe bass, obviously, and then like Lil Jon was kind of a mastermind.
He was like a college, wasn't he? He was a valedictorian, I think, something like that.
Makes sense.
Probably saw the path and was like, I could nail this.
Yeah. He's like, I know how sounds work.
Yeah.
I just need to. Okay. Oh, I think I found it.
That's cool.
Ivan, any parting words for the beautiful people?
Nah.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week with a new movie. I think we're going to do a movie that Ivan's not ready for, but it's a surprise. We'll let you know next week. Until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. Peace out.
Bye.